Okay, so for this video I'm not going to do any edits except for my crappy intro and outro. This is for a few reasons. A, I'm lazy. B, it's 2:30 in the morning. And C, I've been drinking rum and coke all night, but I want to get this video up anyways.
Boom, pow, bang, doo doo doo.
So, Dre is going after Death Row Records after 14 years for royalties. For The Chronic, which was re-released as The Chronic Relit, and other albums that he produced on. This is coming after Death Row was sold to Wideawake, and Suge Knight is no longer in the picture. So, was Dre just scared, or was he smart? Reports say that he's only suing for at least $75,000, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because if anybody was on welfare for 14 years, they'd make way over $75,000. So what's $75,000 to Dre? Now, at first glance, it seems that Dre is just scared. Scared of Suge Knight, scared of Death Row, scared of whatever you want to call it. But then I started reading some of the comments that were posted, and so I decided to look into it further. Now, I never grew up around hip hop until I was 14 or 16, so I was a little late coming into it. About 3 to 5 years after Tupac's death is when I started getting into hip hop. So I never really followed the conspiracy behind Tupac's death, and a lot of this knowledge is new to me. I always figured that Suge Knight was behind Tupac's death, and I never really knew that the Crips were being blamed for it. But bear with me for a minute. Saving time, though, for those who already know the story, and summing up for those who don't, one edit. Basically, at the time Tupac was killed, he was finished his last album and about to leave Death Row. Death Row owing him a ton of money, and also having a bunch of material from him still in their possession, knew that they could make a shitload of cash if he happened to die. So as the conspiracy goes, it makes sense that Suge Knight would have Tupac killed. Just to keep things straight, though, I say conspiracy because I can't prove it as fact, and not because I don't believe it as a high probability. Now, taking this into consideration, let's consider Dre's situation. Dre left Death Row in June of 1996. Tupac was killed in September of the same year. Dre's not a stupid man. Obvious, because he's been in the game well over 20 years. He knew what was going on with Tupac's situation, whether he could technically prove it or not. So, did he wait for Suge to leave? Or did he wait for Death Row to be Sugeless? Or because he was scared or smart? Really, this has been a long ass, short ass intro because I've sort of been babbling a little bit to my short answer. I'd say he was both in a way. Scared because he was smart. Bringing back into the factor that he's only suing for a minimum of 75 grand, and which I would think was fairly low for a minimum of 14 years of royalties. Also the fact that he was co-founders of Death Row with Suge Knight, and probably knew him better than most people would ever. I think yes, he was probably scared of Suge Knight, which in turn made him very smart. When you have millions of dollars, why would you risk it for just a few extra? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm out.
You've been watching this guy and his point of view. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.
Another comment that I read that brought up a good point. Dre always seems to have an uncanny sense of timing. Of course, this is just me still waiting on Detox and hoping that's worth the wait. And yeah, I'm gonna ride that train until it leaves the station.